Pecco Bagnaia, the reigning MotoGP champion, is getting absolutely battered in every single race this season. After 12 Grand Prix and 14 sprints, he's yet to taste victory. It's a complete, utter takeover by Marc Márquez. Is this the end of the Bagnaia dynasty at Ducati? Or is there a dark secret behind this unexpected disaster? This is the biggest scandal to hit the racing world, and we're about to spill the beans right here for you. Marc Márquez, the baby alien, now on a Desmosedici, is absolutely hammering Pecco Bagnaia like an unstoppable force. Bagnaia is helpless. At every turn, on every straight, Marquez is always in front. This isn't just a defeat, it's a full-on mauling. Let's look at the numbers. In the last 4 races alone, Marquez has bagged a whopping 148 points. That's nearly 3 times as many as Bagnaia, who's only managed 47. This massive gap is creating a void of despair that has the entire MotoGP paddock shaking in its boots. So the question is this just down to Marquez being miles better? Or is there something far more sinister behind Bagnaia's collapse? The Ducati GP25, which should be a lethal weapon, looks more like a curse for Bagnaia. No matter what he tries, he just can't get the same feel he had with the GP24. Even Fabio Di Giannantonio, on the same bike, is caught in a similar nightmare. Marquez, on the other hand? He looks like he's at one with the machine, riding it with an insane level of instinct, as if he was born to tame the GP25. Is this really the end of Bagnaia's time as Ducati's main man? Or is there a glimmer of hope for the 2-time champ? With this whirlwind of failure swirling around him, we went behind the scenes in the paddock to find out what's really going on with Pecco Bagnaia. And what we discovered was mind-blowing. Bagnaia isn't a quitter. He knows the GP25 has big issues, and he's fully aware that Marc Márquez is bossing it on the same machine. But here's the thing, he's not broken. With the steely determination he's shown for years, Bagnaia is staying focused, calm, and set on finding a solution. "I know the problem and I'll sort it out," he said with a fierce look in his eye during an interview. However, beneath that calm exterior, small cracks are starting to show. In the last 2 races in Austria and Balaton, frustration began to creep onto his face. We could see just how much he was struggling on what should be his home turf. Is this a sign that even his fighting spirit is beginning to buckle under the strain? Or is this just a strategic step back before he launches a comeback that will shock the world? One thing's for sure, this pressure is far more intense than anything he felt while winning his 2 world titles. He's not just fighting other riders, he's fighting the demons of his own failures and the sheer brilliance of Marc Márquez. We all know Ducati doesn't mess about. They have a dark history of dropping riders who don't perform. Remember Danilo Petrucci, who was given the boot without a second thought? Or Jack Miller, who was on the chopping block before he legged it to KTM? Even Andrea Dovizioso, a legend who was still winning races, was shown the door over salary and a falling out with management. But Pecco Bagnaia is a different kettle of fish. He's the golden boy of Ducati, the saviour who brought home 2 back-to-back world titles, something Petrucci, Miller and Dovi could never do. But in the ruthless world of MotoGP, performance is everything. With Bagnaia's form in a tailspin, whispers in the paddock are getting louder. Will Ducati have the guts to show him the door? Earlier this season, Bagnaia let slip that he was already negotiating a contract extension for 2027 and 2028. But now, the whole picture has changed. Marc Márquez is flying, and Bagnaia is caught in his shadow. Even a legend like Jorge Lorenzo has thrown a spanner in the works, saying that Bagnaia might be better off leading another team like Aprilia, Honda, or Yamaha. This isn't just an opinion, it's a mortal challenge that hints his place at Ducati is no longer safe. Are we about to see another painful split like the one with Dovizioso in 2020? Now we get to the heart of the matter. the Ducati GP25. This bike, which should be a masterpiece of technology, has become a deadly curse for Bagnaia. Even his satellite rider, Fabio Di Gianantonio, is suffering on the same machine. But Marc Márquez? He looks like a king on a dragon, controlling the GP25 as if it's a living creature obeying his every command. Experts and journalists in the paddock are buzzing. Is the GP25 simply not a good fit for Bagnaia's riding style? Or is Marquez on a completely different level? An interesting fact has come to light. Some pundits are saying that if every rider was on the GP24 this season, Bagnaia would be comfortably in second place, miles ahead of everyone else, but still behind Marquez. This proves the problem isn't a loss of talent, it's a bike that's rejecting him. And behind the scenes is Gigi Dall'Igna, Ducati's genius mastermind. In his official statement he said, "We believe in Bagnaia." But how long will that belief last? With the new 2027 regulations bringing in 850cc bikes with fewer wings and aids, will Bagnaia be able to rise from the ashes? Or is Ducati already hunting for fresh blood to replace him? In the midst of Bagnaia's darkness, a new star is shining brightly. Fermin Aldeguer, the whiz kid from Gresini Racing, is absolutely smashing it on the track with a fearless style. His presence is making Pedro Acosta and Marco Bezzecchi a bit nervous. Gigi Dall'Igna himself has called Aldeguer the future of Ducati. With his blistering pace, courage and lethal racing instincts, Aldeguer is a serious threat. But let's not forget Pedro Acosta, the young monster from KTM, who could also be on Ducati's radar if Bagnaia's slump continues. Just imagine this scenario: Marquez and Aldeguer, or Marquez and Acosta in the same garage. This is no longer just a race, it's a psychological war for the Ducati throne. The next two races, Barcelona and Misano, are a make or break moment for Bagnaia. These tracks are his home ground. If he stumbles here, the death knell will sound, and Ducati's exit door might just swing wide open. This is the biggest fight in MotoGP. Will Francesco Bagnaia climb back from the depths and prove he's still the king of Ducati? Or will Marc Márquez and new stars like Fermin Aldeguer steal his crown? What do you lot think? Let us know in the comments. Should Bagnaia stay or go? Who is the real successor to the Ducati throne? Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for the hottest MotoGP news.